Hey, it's Mike. I'm back. Do some more Hare Krishna updates, and we're gonna watch a couple of videos. I got Henry Doktorski, who wrote 3 books about the Hare Krishnas. I'm gonna be watching an interview of him, and I got Knitting Cult Lady is back. So we're gonna get right into it with the opening. Here we go.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. Hey, so thanks for sticking that out. That's just great. I love every minute of that of that minute. I love every minute of that minute. I love it. I love that opening. Hey, we got fake human. Yeah, we got chasing after some kiwi. And so Knitting Cult Lady. I got Knitting Cult Lady. She's back, and she's going to talk about something that we're all familiar with. And it's pretty interesting. I watched a little bit of it, and I thought it would be good to share this. So here we go. What is that over there? Here we go.
Today for Devotions with Daniela, we are reading from The Culting of America, What Makes a Cult and Why We Love Them, my new book, which comes out January 20th. We are reading Chapter 6, Distinguishable Vernacular, because that's what I need to practice for the audiobook, which I'm recording this week. Chapter 6, Distinguishable Vernacular, The Jargon Jungle. Picture this. A woman stands at the front of the room, eyes locked on her audience. Her voice is calm, just intense enough to make it feel like she's revealing secrets the rest of the world has missed. She talks about shadow work, vibrational alignment, emotional frequency, spirituality and psychology woven together into something that sounds both mystical and scientific. Heads nod, tears fall, people lean in. This isn't just a seminar, it's an experience, a revelation. She's selling more than self-improvement. She's offering a key to the universe. And as you listen, you start to wonder, maybe she really does know something the rest of the world doesn't. Maybe everything you've thought until now is wrong. Teal Swan, the self-proclaimed spiritual guru whose YouTube sermons and retreats have drawn a fervent following and whose advice has been linked to more than one suicide, uses words designed to reshape reality. Pain isn't just pain, it's part of your soul's journey. Any doubt is resistance to the truth. Anger and sadness, lower vibrations that need to be cleared. If you're struggling, you haven't elevated yourself enough yet. And if
Can I just mention? Hey, Rafael, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you here. Can I just mention that she says she mentioned one suicide, linked to one suicide. You know how many suicides have happened in the Hare Krishnas due to this cult, to this craziness, this mental illness? I know of 2. Jagjivan, who lived in Clearwater, Florida, and Janardana, who was both of them were Prabhupada disciples. Both took their own lives. Just stressed out over being a Hare Krishna. In 2000 or 1990, Janardana was like 1990, back in the 90s. And Jagjivan was in the early 2000s, so some mid 2000s. And what to speak of all the kids? All the many suicides. There were 3 just in the last couple of years. Just in the last couple of years, there's like 3 grown Gurukula kids, adults that were in the Gurukula that committed suicide. That's crazy. That's insane.
If you question her,
And not only the 2 the 2 grown men that I knew that committed suicide, Nrsingananda's son, he was like 17, 18. He shot himself. That was just so sad. I went to the funeral because I was working at ITV. Three. That's 3 that I knew personally. And people want to defend this like this is normal. Like this is normal.
that's just your ego keeping you trapped. This is not a method, it's a worldview. And the people in that room or on the other side of the screen are rewiring how they see themselves, how they talk about themselves, and adapt a vocabulary only insiders understand. The deeper they go, the harder it is to step outside. Swap out Teal Swan for medical medium Anthony Williams, UFO expert and spiritual teacher Elizabeth April, countless other spiritual influencers, or even former presidential nominee Marianne Williamson. Scroll Instagram and you'll see the same coded language everywhere. Energy healing, clean eating, ascension, detox, manifestation, self-care rituals, vibrations, 5D, superfoods, downloads. These words do more than describe, they signal. If you understand them, you belong. But this world exists at a murky intersection where wellness and spirituality meet conspiracy theories, what some call conspirituality. Derek Beres, Matthew Remski, and Julian Walker explain it in their eponymous book. As an online religion, conspirituality today is not just a set of ideas that people come to value in their quiet and humble hearts. It's generated and circulated by various churches, revival meetings, and seance sessions in the form of small group courses and mastermind Zoom meetings. In this world, quantum healing sits comfortably next to 5D consciousness and conspiracy theories about vaccines. Awakening can mean anything from practicing breath work to believing the government controls our minds with fluoride and chemtrails. Wellness influencers seamlessly pivot from selling organic supplements to whispering about hidden truths they don't want you to know. The deeper people go, the more they feel like they're waking up, while the rest of the world remains blind, programmed, or too low vibrational to see. But take a step back and we have to ask, isn't this the same formula we saw in chapter 1? The charismatic authority filling the void left when we can't explain the world around us? Because when the world feels overwhelming, when life is uncertain and complex, there's nothing more seductive than someone who can make it all make sense, especially if they look good doing it, as many popular alt spirituality influencers do. The authors of Conspirituality describe this phenomenon's rise during the isolation of COVID lockdown. In a moment of peak cultural anxiety, COVID contrarian gurus could throw off their brick and mortar limitations, recreate themselves on Instagram, and get paid through subscriptions as they learned how to use the algorithms, and I would argue language, of these platforms to spread misinformation.
So a couple things going on. Hey, my evil twin again. You gotta get out of there. Get out of there. Couple things going on that she's talking about. So one is the jargon. There's all this, jargon that really makes you part of the cult. Is the language, and it's with Scientology, they've got their language. Every cult has their own jargon. And Hare Krishna, it's the the use of the Sanskrit words. Everybody, in operati, you're in Maya, they're in Maya, making offenses. The list goes on and on. Saying food is prasadam. All these little things that signal, that you're in the cult. Like if you're not using that language, you're hanging around with Hare Krishnas, and you're not saying prasadam. Give me a plate of prasadam, or then you're not really in. The other thing is the conspiracies. Hare Krishnas have so many. Hare Krishna, it opens the door for all kinds of conspiracy theories. Hare Krishnas have so many scams and conspiracies about this and that. I can't believe how many weird conspiracy theories about it. But it's just all part of them messing up with your brain. Messing, and I'm telling you, most people that join are normal people. When they get in there, and it's like sticking an egg beater in your ear and just opening up your head and just putting. It's crazy. And the jargon plays a big part of it. And what do we got? Shit, I've met Nisringananda. Rest peace to his son. I had no idea. Yeah, I was there when it happened. I was working at ITV when it happened, and it was a big thing. It was a big thing. It was a big thing. The kid killed himself, and it was. And then the funeral was at some church in Brentwood, and I was really sad. And I had met him a couple times. I can't remember what his name was. He had a little brother that was younger. Of course, he's little. His little brother would be younger, right? Yeah, it was a real tragedy. It was a real tragedy. Eternal death by ignorant vibration, the low vibrations. What were you saying about the anger and sadness, the low vibes, Everybody, they all have their way of talking, and a lot of times it crosses over. It crosses over. One cult, sometimes they're all using the same jargon. So today, and now I got Ninny Cult Lady. Ninny Cult Lady's great. I recommend that anybody who's watching these videos, you check out Ninny Cult Lady. But now I wanted to get to this interview with this Henry Doktorski. He wrote the books. He wrote 3 books on New Vrindavan and the murders and the craziness and Kirtanananda. And he wrote 3 books about it. He's written even more, because one book was like 8 books, or like, I don't know, like 8 books or something. He's got a lot of books. This guy has a cult revolving around bowing down, washing feet of so-called gurus. Here comes absolute submissive attitude. Aside and think, drink water from washing someone's feet. Yeah. The level of brainwashing, the level of manipulation and brainwashing to get us to do that. I never drank anybody's foot water. I never did that. I never did that. I did drink the Chartamrita that came off of the deities. I did do that. I had that. I had that. But as far as because I never bathed anybody's feet. Prabhupada's, we would bathe the deity, the Murti of Prabhupada, but I don't think I ever had any Chartamrita off of that. But definitely the Chartamrita off of the the Radha Krishna deities. Definitely had a lot of that. And I had some chartamrita in India that made me almost killed me. It almost killed me. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was yogurt. They gave me this little cup along with my meal. I was with my Indian friend, and we stopped at this roadside place, but it was like his friend's place, and they had all this. They were cooking food, and they brought us some food. And then they brought us. I thought it was. Oh my god! I thought it was yogurt. I thought it was like sweet rice. I thought it was like sweet rice, some kind of yogurt drink. That's what it looked like. And I drank it, and it was not. It was not what I thought it was. And I already had it in my mouth, and I was just like, and I realized that it was like it had come off a deity or something. I don't know what it was. Don't even ask me what it was in it. But it was not yogurt. It definitely was not yogurt. It was nasty. And I drank it. I drank it. Everybody was drinking it, and I one sip, and then oh yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Namaste. Radhe. Like Radhe, that's it. Hey, 7720. Nice to see you too, man. Good to see you here. Yeah, it was humility on steroids for me. See, because usually when I'm in India, if I know that if somebody gives me something, I just put it on my head. I learned that a long time ago. I'm not taking chance. I'm not trying to kill myself with some parasite, getting some parasite in my brain. That's how Lokamangala died. He went to India. He went in some kunda somewhere, and he came out, and he got sick, and he had something in his brain, and he passed away. So you gotta be careful. You just gotta be. Hey, you gotta be careful. I learned a long time ago that if they give you something, you just put it on your head. That's very respectful. In fact, it's more respectful than just slurping it down. I would just put, and I still do that. If I go to India, I put it on my head. I'm not drinking anything. There's no way. No. There's a couple times when I got sick in India, and it is not fun at all. When I drank a second cup, I tried to read the devotees to a huge weird look at me as if something crazy was going to happen in New Braj. It was a funny experience. Yeah, if you get sick, though, it's not funny. Let me tell you, if you're in India and you get sick, it is not funny. It's not fun or funny. Not one bit. No, it's not fun. It is not fun. So this guy wrote the book on New Vrindavan, and he was there. And I've never seen this video. I've never watched it. I've never seen him. So we're going to take a look at it, and I'm going to see what it's all about and hear directly from him what he has to say about Hare Krishna. Oh yeah, my rice brings on that good rice, and Prabhupada even says what it is. I forget what it's called. It's that rice that it's boiled, or I don't know what it is. It's husked. It's husked after. Anyway, but that's the good stuff. That's that. I don't know where you got that good rice from. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this video of this guy and see what he has to say. I don't know. Let's see what he has to say.
I lived in the community. I was involved in the cult of Kirtanananda. I was brainwashed just like Radhanath Swami and Tirtha and Tapapunj and hundreds and hundreds of others, all right? So I know that if I was called to assist in this murder, I probably would have done it.
In May 1986, Stephen Bryant was shot dead in Los Angeles. The alleged triggerman, a former New Vrindavan resident, Thomas Drescher. Drescher's spiritual master, the Swami. The prosecution charges Bhaktipad and co-defendant Terry Sheldon, Krishna named Tapapunj, conspired to have Bryant murdered for $8,000 in cash. $8,000 in cash.
We weren't in our right mind. We were afflicted with deranged devotion. My book is about deranged devotion. And I know what that's like.
So, yeah, where am I? Let me go. I got something to say. So first of all, he says we were afflicted with deranged devotion, as if, like, the whole cult is not deranged. As if this is not part of their teachings, that you can just go kill anyone who offends the guru, the violence that Prabhupada authorized in his movement. It's deranged devotion. The whole cult is deranged devotion. He says we were inflicted with deranged, as if they were only them. The whole cult is like this. It's like he said, I would have done it too. Anybody who's in this cult, if they're brainwashed and they're hearing this stuff, anybody would have stood up and done what these nuts were doing. The fact that he says, well, we were a victim of deranged, the whole cult is deranged. As if somehow this outside influence, no. This is all from inside.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
My goodness. Oh my God. Where? I know this guy. He was one of my. I've known this guy for a long time. I used to have a Doktorski with this guy. This guy's nuts. This guy's a nut. I'm going to tell you right now. This guy's a nut. I'm surprised. I'm shocked seeing him in this video. He's a brainwashed wacko. It's like, and I know firsthand. I know the guy. I knew the guy for years because he lived down the street from me. He lived right near the L.A. Temple. I see him all the time. And then he moved out. He moved out to Lancaster. That looks like it looks like out in Lancaster. That looks like where he is, where he moved out. I'm just.
Hare Hare. Dear devotees, respects, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. My name is Mahatma Das. A little bit about myself. I joined ISKCON in September of 1977, and I got my spiritual name May 22nd of 1986. That's the day that Sulochana Prabhu was murdered. Krishna's used me somehow to do a little service. I was a right-hand.
Yeah, somehow Krishna's using me somehow to do so. These people are. I'm talking about deranged. If you think Krishna is using you because you were born, you were initiated, got your spiritual name on the same day that Sulochana, this is what I'm saying. Everything's magical mystery or some conspiracy or some whacked out. Once they start believing this stuff, it's like a road to insanity. It's like a road to insanity. It just opens up into crazy world.
Man to Paratrikananda, 1990 and 91, when we started the Srila Prabhupada Festival. In 1996, I did the Srila Prabhupada family reunion thinking.
I've heard this story. I've heard the story from him. It's almost triggering though, like to hearing this. I've heard him tell this exact same story the exact same way so many times. It is like etched into my head, And now I'm hearing it again for the first time in like 20-something years. It's really kind of weird.
That Prabhupada founded ISKCON for is Doktorski, communication, unity, cooperation, trust, and love. I haven't done any of this. Krishna uses us to do these things, So I cannot get the credit. I'm not trying to talk down to you or to seem.
The credit for what? What is he saying I can't take the credit for? What the credit for? Krishna is using you to do what? Whatever Krishna is using you for is sure they're going very well. I don't know what you think you're doing for Krishna, because you're doing the same shit you're doing when I met you 30 something years ago. He hasn't done anything. Where is it?
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Like I want to be a big leader. I'm happy with my life as it is, with a good wife, a few good friends, and that's it. You're going to see soon an interview I did of Rishikesh Das Prabhu about his 660-page book called Killing for Krishna. And I wanted to say that we have to find a solution. The solution is Prabhupada paradigm only, POP. To follow the order of Prabhupada.
Is this some kind of like, I don't know, is it like some kind of like a video forward to this interview or something? I don't know, why do they have this in here? Why is this edited? Why is this guy edited into this? I wanted to watch this video for this. I wanted to watch the interview of the guy that wrote the book, not listen to this guy. Of all the people, that are, what the fuck is going on? I love the good rice. I mean, I think we really started something with the rice. The Good Rice Society. International Society for Good Rice. I think that's what it is. Rice and kiwi. Yeah, it's like like some kind of a rice kiwi salad. I don't know. One of the most craziest cases out there, just insane, deranged devotion. Yeah, what is this guy doing? That brainwashes you directly to become a kind of insane person. Yes, it does, absolutely. If you get these direct and absurd instructions and interpret everything so literally, it's crazy. It is mental illness. It's like injecting mental illness into your head. Like that girl's like within 2 months, she's confused and frustrated because this is like injecting. It's insanity. It's like injecting insanity right into your dome. It's like right in there. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. And that's if you're a normal person. Yeah. What to speak if you're like Hot Lips and you're like already having mental. You're already having issues. I'm not trying to make fun. I'm serious. You have mental issues. I'm not saying you're crazy, although you could be crazy, but just anxiety, stressed out, panic attack. Who knows what everyone's going through something in life, But people that are sick, that actually need help, that actually need maybe medication, or they need some kind of therapy, or they need something, and instead of getting the help that they need, they end up with this guy telling them to chant and come to my Doktorski and wear these clothes and shave your head and men over here and women over there and all of these weird things that they put in your head. It's crazy. You're a semi-normal person, and then you start listening to this guy. You start listening to this guy, and yet you lose all your rational thinking. You lose your critical thinking. You can't tell a demon head from an eclipse, a fairy tale from history. They're lying to you and telling you all kinds of stuff as if it's true. I'm wondering how much more of this guy I got to listen to. I wanted to the interview.
Have to follow the example of Jayananda Das Prabhu. Jayananda Prabhu is the only confirmed by Srila Prabhupada Siddha disciple. We have to.
Okay, so the fact that this Henry Doktorski, this Rishikesh Das, it still goes by the name Rishikesh Das, and he's allowing all of this stuff to be in front of this interview that he does. That to me doesn't sit right. Like, why is there all this preaching before this interview about this cult that is killing for Krishna? I mean, I don't understand that.
Start following the example of Jayananda. We can establish 108 centers worldwide based on Jayananda Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada's POP, and original books. We have to know the history of abuse against Prabhupada and his followers. And then we have to know who is who. And this book...
Abuse against Prabhupada. Abuse against Prabhupada? What is he talking about? The abuse against Prabhupada?
Killing for Krishna describes very nicely who is who in our movement, at least in part of the movement. It's an isolated case, but it's important. Now to the interview. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Isolated case? It's not an isolated case. I mean, it's not like every day people are getting shot in their van, but it's not an isolated case. There's been all kinds of violence. And there was more than one murder in New Bern. I mean, anyway, this guy that wrote the book is going to tell us all about it if we ever get to him. But the fact that this is all like a little commercial for Krishna Cult before the... Yeah, you can't tell right from wrong. These guys. Hey, Howard Johnson, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. Let's see what's going on here.
These rogues, so-called acharyas, are the most dangerous elements in human society. These pseudo-religionists are heading toward the most obnoxious place in the universe, hell, after completion of their spiritual master business, which they conduct simply for sense gratification. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada wrote this in Sri Ishupanishad.
Hare Krishna, respects, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Now I am trying to create unity, better communication.
So I guess, oh my goodness. So I guess he's the guy that's doing the interview. Is that what we have to watch? This is what I have to watch. I have to watch this guy interview. This tells me something's off with this guy. I don't know. I think I answered my own question. What abuse against Prabhupada? He was worshipped more than a king of any royal blood. I know, it is insanity. This is insanity. Prabhupada was worshipped like a god. He was worshipped. And they say, you know, the spiritual master is worshipped as good as God. Well, then basically he's being worshipped as God. If he's being worshipped as good as God, then he's pretty much God. He's being worshipped as God. As good as, same as. I mean, how was Prabhupada abused? Prabhupada got away with everything. Prabhupada got away with everything. How was Prabhupada abused? Prabhupada didn't have to have, he didn't have to answer for any child abuse in his schools. The fact that he wasn't qualified to even open a school, that he had these they weren't even schools, they were like daycare centers that he had running in Dallas and wherever they were running in the United States and New York and wherever. Basically little concentration camps for kids. Kids were being beaten and sexually abused and who knows what. Well, we do know what, because they took him to court and there was a $450 million lawsuit and they lost. But Prabhupada didn't have to answer for that because that came later after Prabhupada was already gone. Prabhupada didn't have to answer for the fact that he took all these people and brainwashed them and set them loose on the world. These crazy friggin' Kirtananandas and Jayatirthas and Tamal Krishnas and Rishikesh and Rameshwar and all these nuts. We have Prabhupada to thank for that. All the lives that he ruined, all the little girls that got married off when they were little girls. And this guy writes 3 books and he's still got pictures of Prabhupada and devotees on here and
There's so much sectarianism in the movement. Of course, we know of violence, such as the one that Sulochana Prabhu experienced, and I'm making an effort so that never happens again, because it's not pleasing to Prabhupada that his disciples be killed, or that we have a reputation that we kill each other and so forth. So it's nowhere in our scriptures, it's nowhere giving us an example, honorable example of something to do.
So this is how this guy thinks. This guy was killed. This guy was shot and killed. And, you know, that's not fair to Prabhupada. Not to his family, not to his mom and dad, not to his wife and kids or anything like that. He didn't say, oh, you know, Sulochana was murdered and that's just, you know, his life was taken. I give my condolences to his family. No, it's an offense to Prabhupada that Sulochana was murdered. Because it makes the movement look bad. That's what this guy thinks. It's a shame the guy got murdered because, you know, that really makes Prabhupada look bad. It makes us all look bad, and we're not like that. How about it's a shame that the guy got murdered because he was only 30 years old or 28 years old or however old he was, and he didn't deserve to die for this friggin' scam. And Prabhupada, it's the same thing like when my wife passed away, and they're all telling me, oh, well, you know, Prabhupada this and Prabhupada that. What? You know, we're having a little thing for my wife passing away, like a little, you know, a little memorial thing, and all you guys are talking about is Prabhupada. Well, I should have known because that's what stupid me, right? But everything was just glorifying Prabhupada, and we're like, you know what? At that point, I was like, you know, this is ridiculous. And here this guy's talking about a guy getting shot, but all he can think about is how it makes Prabhupada look bad.
Today, I am with the author of Killing for Krishna, Henry Doktorski.
It's a real treat to be with you, Mahatma Prabhu. I enjoy your association. I find that you're a very loving soul, and I thank you for your friendship. Regarding the way I make my money is as a musician, mostly. I play accordion, piano, organ. That's what I'm focusing on, mostly working for churches. I also teach chess for kids, and among other things, I love to research and to write, which my most recent effort is this book, Killing for Krishna, The Danger of Deranged Devotion.
So as you can see, he's fully in on the jargon and the talking like he's a devotee, like he's still in the cult. Yes, so I want your association. You're a gentle soul or whatever he's saying. All of this, you can tell right away. He's talking like he's still in it. He's still in it. And I'm not saying, you know, he. Well, we'll get to what he did. But what a bunch of shit. What a bunch of shit from Sulochana to Jayananda, both victims of this dangerous cult. Sulochana, Jayananda, Jagjivan, Janardana, Nishringananda's son. So many. So many. I shouldn't know that many. I should know of that. I shouldn't. First of all, I shouldn't
have known three or met three Hare Krishnas in my tiny circle in LA, at the LA, there's not that many Hare Krishnas. In my small circle, just within a few years, three people that I knew committed suicide. Plus I met so many kids that were molested, including my own. It's an incredible, like, how is that possible? Seriously, how is that possible? You got
He got lucky. Hey, Liam, how you doing? He got lucky. He was long gone during the massive lawsuit. His church got, yeah, you know, not to say there are millions of victims that never got to be. Yeah, my daughter wasn't part of the lawsuit. My daughter didn't get, and those kids, my daughter's age, they weren't part of the lawsuit. They didn't get nothing. My daughter didn't get nothing. I bet there are more lawsuits to come. Get ready. You know, there should be. I don't know how they handle not having lawsuits. I don't know how these gurus get away with not being responsible for the stuff that goes on in their temples and in their zones. How is Swavas not responsible for stuff that goes on in his temple community? How are these guys not responsible? How did Bhavananda get away with all the shit that he did? And Bhaktavidya Purna and all these guys that had and Lokanath Swami. All these guys that had issues with little kids, and how do they avoid it? It's amazing. And you say, well, Krishna's protecting. Krishna's protecting. Krishna protects these pedophiles. These disgusting creeps. Meanwhile, this Mahatma guy and this other guy think they're doing something by exposing this killing, but then just like, well, we're still part of the cult, as if it's not. If you're exposing the killing in this cult and you're still part of the cult, and there's something wrong going on there. You need to go back and reread your own book. You need to go back and reread your book. Oh, there's a couple chapters you missed. The Gaudiya Math will also be exposed, and all their gurus keep. They got the same. It's all the same stuff. Same guru, it's different cult. Hey, Jeff, Matthew. Hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. I have computer issues, man. My computer is still acting up. I can't read everything right. Devotee syndrome galore, acting like it's all cool on the block. They know better. These fingers. I don't understand it. I know it's it's kind of confusing in a way, you know.
What did you do at New Vrindavan for 15 years?
I had a mostly wonderful time. I mean, New Vrindavan it's a holy place of pilgrimage. Prabhupada founded it.
If he still thinks that way, then he's still in the cult.
And visited 4 times. And what I saw at New Vrindavan impressed me. I saw a community of spiritual seekers that practiced what they preached. I was looking for something more radical. And Hare Krishnas, the men shaved their heads and left the Sika in the back, and they wore these bed sheets, the Indian garments, and they were vegetarians also, which I admired a lot. At New Vrindavan, I mean, for 15 years, I did a multitude of different services. I did teach music.
So they shave their heads and they're running around in robes. That's what attracted you to them? I was attracted to the basically the Indian culture part of it, the fact that it was supposedly this ancient tradition
this 5,000-year-old scriptures. You know, I was interested in that. I accepted that. I accepted Prabhupada was a Vedic scholar, so I accepted I was getting this Vedic knowledge from India based on the translations and the interpretations from this Vedic scholar, this Prabhupada guy, who was supposedly this renowned guru, Vedic scholar guru guy. Kind of like a Hri Dayananda, kind of like what they want. Hri Dayananda poses himself as this, hey, I went to Harvard and I'm this pure devotee guru of ISKCON, and I play jazz piano, and and I wear cool shirts and everything, and I'm this educated guru guy. Kind of Prabhupada was kind of presented the same way, like, hey, he went to Scottish churches and he went to college. He didn't get his diploma, but hey, he went to college, you know, and he's this Bhaktivedanta guy. I was attracted to that. I didn't care about wearing a robe and a shaved head and a sika and living on a farm community. I didn't care about that. I was interested in like the philosophy, that kind of like the whole ancient Indian scripture thing. I don't know. That's just me. Everybody's different. I don't know. This guy.
Music at the Gurukul for a little bit. I helped build Prabhupada's palace, helped design the gold leaf patterns on the domes, and did gold leafing myself. And then after that, I was sent out on Sankirtan, first distributing Prabhupada's books in parking lots in Ohio with Tapapunj Das Brahmachari.
Selling books in a parking lot out of a shopping cart alongside the guy that helped murder Silochan. That's what this guy was doing.
Who also figures prominently in my book. When New Vrindavan transferred into doing the PIC, which is fundraising, basically, you know, hitting people up, getting donations just for the money, and we were all in disguise.
So he can't even be honest. He can't even be honest that they were scamming people.
I was very good at that.
He was good at scamming people.
I was #1 men's collector.
He was #1 scammer in New Vrindavan.
In 1 year. And then around 85, the grind of being out on the road all that time was adversely affecting my health. So my spiritual master, Kirtanananda Swami, asked me to come back to the farm, and I helped found the book publishing at New Vrindavan Palace Publishing.
So you were collecting so much money that you almost, you made yourself sick. How much money do you think you collected?
It could have been $500,000, it could have been $750,000. I was certainly not the top collector. The women collected much more than the men, but that's what I did. But at a certain point, my collections dropped, and Bhakti.
So proud of how much the money they scam. I doubt if it was that much, but you can't believe these people really, you just can't, but just so proud of how much money they are able to scam people. Cosplaying freaks, absolutely. Cosplaying freaks. I'm having trouble reading it because of my computer. Ex-ISKCON kids facing epidemic of suicides, former disciples of constantly falling gurus, desperately finding their way out of this freaking cult. It's a matter of life and death. It's sad. It's really sad, the kids that are trapped, that are like trapped. He's a brainwashed, cosplaying, ego-tripping, spiritual narcissist. Both of them. Everybody in this picture, everybody you see there is a brainwashed, cosplaying, ego-tripping, spiritual narcissist. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to like really come down on this Henry Doktorski, because he's written these books. He's an author. He was there. He lived through it. He knows. He wrote these fantastic books, Killing for Krishna. But he's still a devotee. He's still a devotee in this cult. And even though he knows what he knows and he understands what he understands, he's still somehow in this cult.
And that's what I was saying. There's like residual stuff left over. It's very, I would never do something like this with a picture of Prabhupada and his book and the beads and the devotee sitting there, especially this guy. This is Mahatma guy. Like, come on. They look like freaks. How embarrassing. I was ever part of this criminal organization, Circle of Evil. Me too. I know. And I knew this guy. I knew the guy in the white. I knew him. I'm embarrassed to say that I used to know this guy. I used to go to his house. He put on a Rath Yatra out in Palmdale. I went to his Rath Yatra. Circus of evil. I know. And he's wasting his time, bro. It's so sad. And I got to hand it to him. It's like he wrote these books exposing these, and it's good that he did that. I'm glad he did that. He's not out of the cult. He's still part of the cult, but he wrote these books, and I kind of feel like he's kind of like just exploiting this guy's death. Like he's able to like write book after book after book on on these gurus that caused it, on his death, how it happened, deranged devotion, because he was there, he was firsthand, and all this stuff. And I almost feel like, like he's like, I don't know, like I don't want to be too critical on the guy because I don't know, but if you're, oh man. He did the pick. Yeah, he did the pick, and he's proud of it. He's like, hey, we did the pick, and that's really just, it's fundraising. He said it's fundraising. It's lying. It's going out and it's straight up scamming is what it is. It's like pickpocketing is what you should say. Instead of calling it the pick, you should call it the pickpocketing because that's basically what you're it's scamming. Scamming people for money. Not even begging with a book anymore. Gave up the begging with a book. Now it's just straight up scamming. Selling copyrighted, counterfeit T-shirts and caps and stickers and buttons and stuff that has nothing to do with Krishna just because you're going to out there just scamming people for money, shortchanging them, doing all kinds of stuff. That's what the pick was. Raising money. We're raising money for hungry kids. You weren't raising money for no hungry kids. Hey, we're raising money to feed kids in India. We're raising money to feed... You ain't raising no money for no kids. Meanwhile, your own kids were getting molested and tortured and all this stuff, and you guys are out on the pick, and you look back and talk about it. These were great times. Oh, I was in New Vrindavan, and I saw a bunch of honest, soul-searching, honest, good people there. But meanwhile, kids are getting molested and beaten and raped behind festivals, and who knows what's going on. Because they're not doing it in front of your face. Even Ramananda Roy took the two girls behind the thing and went and molested them by himself. Nobody could see him. Even he had sense to do that. If people look back on a horrible place and a horrible time where horrible things happened, where so many kids were molested, so many women were abused. Jadharani was almost beaten to death, and she's one of them. People are shot, people are murdered, people are buried under rivers. All kinds of stuff's going on. He said, well, I was there, and when I was there, but hey, I saw a bunch of happy bunch of freaks running around. And, I don't know. This is a weird friggin' cult, man. Even the people that know what's going on, like Paranjan and Rishikesh Das and people that were involved in these murders, they still in the cult. Guy doing life in jail. He's got deities in his cell and Prabhupada pictures on a wall. Like a freak. That's why I haven't watched these videos. That's why I've never watched this video. That's why I'm not interested in reading this guy's book. I've never been interested in reading this guy's book. Any of his books. And I'm interested in what the subject matter is. You'd think I'd want to read it. But hey, I always had a feeling that this guy, I don't know, man, he's still... I read a book about a cult by someone who's still in it. pick equals stealing. Yeah, why didn't he just say? He can't bring himself to say it. I was out on the pick. We were scamming people. New Vrindavan was scam headquarters. It was the main headquarters it was our scam central. We would go out every day, fan out into the world, and just scam everybody we came in contact with. Meanwhile, back in the school, kids are getting beat and molested and treated like shit. And the guru's running around having sex with anybody he wants, little boys, teenage boys, whatever. And you talk to people that were there, like, hey, it was the greatest time of my life. I had the greatest time of my life. Well, you know, a bunch of people didn't have the greatest time of my life. It makes me think, like, you're the kind of person to be like, yeah, well, you know, the Holocaust was horrible, but, you know, I was having a good time. I know a lot of Jews got killed in the ovens and everything in the concentration camps, but hey, you know, I was having a great time. I saw nothing but happy people. Happy, shiny people. That's what I saw. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's a shame a couple guys got their heads blown off, but I was having a good time. You know, if I was I would be like, yeah, I was there. I didn't know what was going on, and I feel ashamed that I was there, and having a good time while all these horrible things were going on. I really don't want to talk about it like I was having a good time because I'm ashamed of it. And I feel bad for all the people that suffered, all the children that suffered there. I feel like shit when I think about New Vrindavan and when I was there and what was going on there in Kirtananda and what he was doing. Makes me want to throw up. I don't want to think about it. I was bouncing around while this guy was getting shot in the head. I don't want to think about that. That's what I would say. I'd say, yeah, I feel horrible that I was there. I feel like shit. I dragged my daughter into this cult. I feel like shit. We went to India and we had some good times in India, but we didn't need this fucking cult to go to India and have good times. So I feel like shit that I brought my daughter into this cult. I say, well, yeah, at least we got to see the Taj Mahal. No, not at least we got to see the Taj Mahal. We happened to see the Taj Mahal, but it's still fucked up. I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, you know, a lot of fucked up things happen, but you know, I got to see the Taj Mahal. I had a great time. I did all this stuff. No fucked up cult. I wish I had nothing to do with it. That's what he should be saying. That's what both these guys should be saying. And these guys, they're still. Bhagavan Das makes about $2,000, $3,000 at an event when he does the pick. That's how he was able to maintain his luxury life all these years. Yeah, and just like, you know, like Radharani, you know, she's still at the Hollywood Bowl selling her books. If she knew how to do some, you know, instead of selling, you know, little books for, you know, $1 or $2, and she pays 25 cents for them, so she's making a couple dollars every book, you know, a couple dollars on every book she sells. Okay, she sells 10 books. She sells 10 books. She's made $20. You know, she sells whatever. You know, that's tough. I mean, she can make a little cash. I don't know what she's. But if she was doing a little bit bigger scam, where she was making $10 on every scam she was doing, and she was doing 10 of those a night, making $10 on every scam she was doing, and making $100 a night, and $500 a week, $700 a week, or more. And then she's doing an even bigger scam than that, and she's making $25 a scam, and she's doing 10 of those. You know, I don't know. Whatever she's doing. These guys are scammers. He learned to deceive people on the streets from Prabhupada. Yeah, and like, you know, but see, to deceive people on the street, To pull that scam on the street, you don't need Prabhupada. I was working for a company where we went out and they taught you how to go out and sell this stuff, and we'll show you how to scam people because you're selling them a bunch of crap, overpriced crap. It's the same scam. You sell them something, 5 minutes later, the thing breaks and you're gone or whatever. You know, you made it. But again, it's the same thing. You're only making a small amount, $100 a day. It's not like you're going to get rich, selling, doing that scam. But if you can work it up to where it's a little bit bigger scam, where you're making more money per scam, maybe you're gonna work your way up the scam pyramid. And it's pickpocketing direct and forward by deception, sad, tragic story. They tell people they have 6 children. Yeah, it's like, it's like the gypsy thing. It's like being out there and like collecting for shit that doesn't exist. How sad is that as a life? That's your life? Is I'm out with a sign that says, give to this little kid's funeral? There ain't no little kid, there ain't no funeral. You're just scamming people for $1 of a jar. People are stuffing. That's your life? Scamming people for $2, $3, whatever. Or pushing a shopping cart around with books. I just saw the other day, I was looking on the YouTube thing, I was looking for, I don't know, a Dodger game or something. And I saw LA Temple, Brigu Party giving a lecture, talking about selling books. I'm like, this guy's still doing the same thing. I've seen him doing it for the last 35 years. He's still doing the same thing. He's out pushing shopping cart of books around, and then he goes and he sits on the Vyasa and he talks about it. Talks about how he's selling books and Prabhupada's books. And he goes on, he sells Prabhupada's books. And he comes back and he talks more about the Prabhupada's books and lectures about Prabhupada's books and reads Prabhupada's books. And then goes out and sells more Prabhupada. This is freaking stupid. They lie about having cancer or being veterans. Some devotees go door to door. It is so sad. It's so sad. And they don't know anything else. They don't know how to do anything else. I can understand, if you don't know anything else, then you need to, and that's what you do, but there's no reason for them not to know how to do. There's no reason. Because they've been doing like this guy. Shaving his head and putting on a cosplaying as a thing and not having a job and just living off of scamming. I wish some things came with a huge warning sign. I know, I agree. I wish. That's why, I'm trying to warn people. I feel... you feel bad for the children of those who did the pick for a living. I know. And a lot of those kids have issues with their parents. Like, you were always out selling books or scamming, and you were never at home, and it just... You're absolutely right, Mike. I've met personally Mr. Doktorski in Germany. In 2018, he was on a music tour. He gave me his book, Killing for Krishna. Sad to watch this interview. You're right. Yeah, I feel like, in a way, I feel like he's like these other guys that are just, they got nothing to do but like sell their story. I'm going to sell my story, my Hare Krishna story. This guy's story is like, well, I was in New Vrindavan. Let me write a book about that. And I'm not really knocking that so much. Like, yeah, you did it. You were, but I don't know. He's just like, he's still in it. It's propaganda. If you're trying to write something like this and you're still in it, that's propaganda. You're a propagandist for Prabhupada. You're still promoting the cult. You're still promoting the cult. That's my take on the whole thing. Many of them are embarrassed to say the truth, and that they do the pick for a living. Yeah, he said the pick. That's about as most as you'll get,
closest you'll get to a confession that they're scamming people. It's like, well, I do the pick, or I did the pick, and it's like, well, what's the pick? It's like, oh, bedtime stories, man. If you go to the streets with a sob story that you need money for, and you know how to convert non-devotees into Christian devotees, then they're expert pickpocketers. Yeah, I've met so many guys like Radha Kun. Radha Kun was just like, you could tell that he was a scammer. Even he didn't even have to scam you for you to know that this guy was a scammer. You could just tell. It was like you could tell he was scamming. I had to check my pockets, make sure I had all my fingers. I had to make sure he make sure my glasses were still on my head. But he was see, here I go. This is how we are. He was a nice good guy. He never scammed me. See, and I never knew the extent of the scam because I was in it. But now I know. When they're talking about Sankirtan and they're talking about the pick and they're talking about doing these type of things, now I know what they're talking about. Before I thought it was like, oh, they're out, chanting and they're this, and it's like this romanticized idea of what the whole thing is about. No, that's the sinister part of it. How can they trust a parent? How can they trust a parent who is a fanatical devotee but lives off of crime? They can't be honest. I'm out cosplaying as a holy man, and I'm ripping people off. I'm ripping people off with a Bhagavad Gita. I'm shortchanging them. I'm scamming them. Or whatever that they're doing. Fast talking them. It's really sinister. It really is.
But said, well, we have work for you here at the farm. So book publishing, I started Palace Charities, the vegetarian Meals on Wheels for Wheeling and senior citizens. And then in the interfaith period, I was minister of music for the community, in charge of the orchestra. I played the pipe organ, composed music for the services, like that. And I finally left in October of '93 when I rejected my spiritual master after I had become convinced that he was not what he appeared to be.
Do you think Sulochana Prabhu was feeling?
Okay, so so he's a disciple of Bhaktipad, this Kirtanananda. He realizes Kirtananda is not who he thought he was, that he's bogus. So where do you go from there? He doesn't say, well, how did this bogus guy, how did he get to be, if Kirtananda is bogus and he's got this whole New Vrindavan thing and everybody worshiping him, and you realize, well, hey, this guy's a fake and a phony. And you go, well, how did this fake and a phony get to be this guy? Well, Prabhupada put him in there. Prabhupada put him in there, made him who he was, told all these people to go to New Vrindavan, to follow Prabhupada. Prabhupada wrote that Hladini and told her, hey, just stay with Kirtananda and follow the leaders there and cooperate with all the leaders in New Vrindavan and stay in New Vrindavan. No, Prabhupada's telling them. Prabhupada's telling all these people that the Kirtananda is a pure devotee. All those quotes where Prabhupada says Kirtananda is a pure devotee and Kirtananda is going back to Godhead, Kirtananda this, Kirtananda that. And then you realize that Kirtananda is not who he said. Well, how did Kirtananda become who he is? Well, that's not Prabhupada's fault. You can't follow that. Follow the money back to Prabhupada. It's like, well, it's one step back. You gotta say, well, if Kirtananda is a creep and he's all of this, why would Prabhupada make him Kirtanananda?
Why would Prabhupada tell everybody to go to his temple and follow him? And he's a pure devotee. Obviously, he's not a pure devotee, so did Prabhupada make a mistake? Prabhupada not know what he's talking about? Prabhupada sat just like this. Prabhupada sat just like these two guys right here. Kirtananda over there, and Prabhupada over there. Prabhupada's looking right in Kirtananda's face. Prabhupada had no idea Kirtananda was a fucking freak. What kind of pure devotee is that? And it's not like Prabhupada met Kirtananda once. Prabhupada knew who Kirtananda was. That alone, just that alone. They got to raise some serious questions about Prabhupada's judgment, his judgment of someone's character. Like Prabhupada's supposed to be. You hear these devotees all the time talking about how, oh, Prabhupada could just look right through you and he could see into your soul. Well, he couldn't look into Kirtananda's soul. He couldn't look into his head. He missed that one. And there were so many signs. There's so many signs. Prabhupada missed all those turn-off signs. It went right past Prabhupada. And all of these guys. That's why I'm saying this cult will fuck up your head. This cult will fuck up your head so bad. You get in there and get yourself a guru, and your guru will get caught falling down, running off with some little girl somewhere, millions of dollars, and then you'll be like, oh, I need a new guru. And you'll find another guru because you're an idiot, and then your dumbass guru, and that guru runs off, falls down, has sex with his disciple, 85 years old, runs on, oh, I guess I need another guru. Because you're too dumb to go, hey, I need to get the fuck out of here. Enough of this shit. The fuck is this? If you worked for a company, and the company was doing half of the shady shit that the devotees do, you'd quit. You'd quit. If they said, hey, you got to work for free, and you got to shave your head and got to wear this goofy uniform, and you got to believe in all this wacky crap, and you'd say, I'm not working here. Look, this is a job. But these guys sitting there, these guys are going to have an interview and talk about all the killing and all the crap going on in this Hare Krishna cult, and they got a clue about leaving. Because they bought into the idea that it's a 5,000-year-old ancient tradition, ancient scripture, coming disciplic succession with an elephant-headed guy sitting there talking to a 5,000-year-old guy while a spaceman floats between planets playing a guitar and a demon head eats the moon. No, talk about brainwash. Talk about brainwash. What does it say? What does it say? Most Narayan disciples who live in Badger do the pick for a living. Yeah, they go down to Visalia and they go down to Visalia and they do the pick, and they come back for almost 40 years. Yes, living off of crime, and they think chanting is going to save them. It's insanity. It is mental illness. It is mental friggin' illness. Mental illness. In Killing for Krishna is a passage, that Keith Ham, dead perv Kirtananda, during construction New Vrindavan, while walking, he was electrocuting working devotees with a power cow electric stick.
They say Krishna provides, but they commit crimes for a living. Yeah, I know. They say Krishna will provide for you, and then Krishna doesn't provide, and they have to go out and shoplift or scam people for money or beg or this or that. It's crazy. It's crazy. And these two guys sitting here, man, I don't know. They went from living in Prabhupada's temples for free to having to pay rent in Badger to take shelter in Narayan fraudster. He claimed he knew past, present, and future, and then why allow the pick? They can't even explain their own scams and their own. They can't explain shit. Prabhupada says that Krishna will provide for his devotees, but yet they live like beggars because Krishna takes everything. Krishna takes everything, so they don't have anything, but yet Krishna is going to provide for everything. And then they talk about they renounce everything, but then they have everything. This Harvard Goswami says, "Well, I'm a guru, I'm a renounced guru," but yet he doesn't look very renounced to me. Lives in a nice house, Beverly Hills. He's probably got a nice car. He's probably got somebody driving him around. He doesn't look renounced. He doesn't look like he's having any hardship. He doesn't look like he's got a care in the world. Friggin' renounced order of life. There ain't no fucking renounced order of life. It's the scam order of life. They are scam yasis and they are sannyasis. They are scam yasis. That's what they are. And then none of these guys want to live in a temple now. Well, these old Prabhupada disciples, they're talking about the old days. Hey, they don't want to go move in a temple. Paranjan and Yashodanandan and Veda Guya and Dhammagoja and all these guys. I don't see wisdom of the sages. I don't see them living in a temple. They look like they got a nice little apartment, nice little house on the Bronx, or I don't know where they live. They don't look like they live in a renounced life or living in a temple, being whatever. I don't see a lot of these guys. I don't see the Hare Krishna podcast guy. I don't see him living a renounced life. I don't see any of these guys. I don't see this Mahatma guy sitting right here. He ain't living no renounced order life. He's old enough to leave his wife and go live in the forest, go move into a temple. He don't want to live in no temple. They don't want to preach this bullshit, but they don't want to live it. They're going to sit there and preach about, it's the ghosty and this and that, blah, 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 blah. You ain't an example of nothing. You're an example of someone who's scamming. Sit there preaching this and shave your head and got a little sika, but you're just cosplaying. You ain't living in a temple. You ain't living in a temple getting up 4 o'clock in the morning, going and doing no puja and doing this and doing that. You ain't doing all that. You're just dressing up to go on camera. I know this guy. That's how I know. I know for a fact. Henry, I don't know. He's the author of this Henry guy. I don't know, man. The way he talks.
Anger. Do you feel anger?
There's no doubt in my mind that Salochan was extremely angry, especially with Kirtanananda Swami. He felt that Kirtanananda had stolen his wife. It's not exactly as I see it. I mean, his wife did love Kirtanananda as a disciple loves the spiritual master more than she loved her own husband. And
well, what do you call that? What do you call that? He totally broke up the guy's marriage. He took his son away. His son ended up dying. This guy's got no clue, man. He's talking like Bhaktipad is like Bhaktipad was a fraud. You can't say, well, he was this and he was that, and then he went nuts and became. No, he was always a fraud. These guys are all frauds. It says propaganda, trying to paint Prabhupada out as like the good guy. Prabhupada created these guys.
Prabhupada created this whole mess.
At one point, when he told her, "We're leaving the community, I do not want to live here anymore," she rebelled. This was in June 1994, and she refused to go with him. And she stayed at the community under the protection of Bhaktipad, and Sulochan was pretty much forced to leave at that time.
Sulochan shortly after that decided to get his children, and then he took them away. And I understand they followed him, and at gunpoint they got the children back.
Correct. When he left New Vrindavan, he took his two sons, Sarva and Nimai. Nimai was still in diapers. Sarva was about 3 years old. And he invited or ordered his wife to join him. She refused. So he gave her plenty of time to decide. And then at some point he said, "Okay, it's time to go." And he left. He was going to his parents' home in Royal Oak, Michigan. Immediately, she went to Bhaktipad and said, "My husband has left, taken my two children. I want to stay here. Can you help me?" And he made some phone calls, and 3 New Vrindavan Kshatriyas.
Warriors.
Yes, warrior Kshatriyas, enforcers.
They think they're warriors. They think they're warriors. They're kshatriya. They're so deluded. These people are so friggin' deluded. Exactly. Funny how they say the guru knows past, present, future, but can't tell a criminal or a pedo before they commit crimes. It's all bullshit. All lies and deception is what you get here. Yeah, it's all a bunch of bullshit. All of it. Every single bit of it. Keith Ham, Kirtanananda, Prabhupada, first American sannyasi or ever sannyasi. It is a circus. What a goofball. And these guys are both goofballs too. Totally brainwashed. This one says it all, though. I got to tell you, that says. Oh my goodness.
Got into a van with the mother, and they began following the route that they thought he was taking.
The basic need of a father to see his children. That's what started everything.
I would agree with you. Sulochan certainly loved his two sons.
It seems like, I may be wrong, but it seems to me like this Doktorski guy is a little. He's like a hostile witness. It's like he doesn't. It's like he doesn't. I don't know, man. He's not me. He's not me. That's for sure. I don't know what his problem is though. But he's like, well, yeah, he loved his kid. He's like he doesn't want to admit. I don't know. It's like he's on the fence about the whole thing. I don't know. It's weird. Am I wrong? Well, Prabhupada didn't write script for Minority Report. Freaks all over. It is. Oh man. Hey, Mike, good to see you this morning. Love to all from the UK. Hey, Jaya Ganapati. Yeah, hey, good to see you here, man. I'm glad you're here. Please hit the like and share button while you're here. When I joined, I thought I was living in the 70s. This religion breaks rules and laws today. We're living in 2025. This religion is insanity. It's mental illness. Normal people walk in one door and they come out, their heads just filled with nonsense and they don't know what's right and wrong. They don't know if they should kill somebody for Krishna. They don't know if they should leave their. I mean, this guy's like, hey, I don't want to be around Bhaktipad anymore because he's molesting children. He's not a real guru. He's out of his mind. Whatever. This guy, he figured out. He said, I'm going to get my kids. I'm going to get my kids out of there. It's like leaving the Manson family. He's like, I want to get my kids. I'm going to take my kids. I'm going to bail. So his wife, she's like a Manson. She's like in the Manson family. She's like, oh, she runs to Bhaktipad, and he's like Manson. So she runs to Bhaktipad and goes, hey, he's taking my kids, and he ran away. So what does Manson do? He goes, hey, go stop him. Go get the kids. And he went, you gonna tell me this is not a fucking crazy fucking psycho? He's a holy man? Bhaktipad's a holy man? He's running this place like he's friggin', I don't know what. No, he goes, the correct answer is, this is a domestic dispute between, he's the father, you're the mother, and those are the kids. So you're going to need to go to court. If he's already taken them and he's left, then you're going to have to try to get custody, or, you're going to have to do this through the court system. This is not a, hey, we're going to go gunpoint. No, he's like, we're going to go by gunpoint, and we're going to just steal your kids away from the father. This is what's going on. There's a whole thing going on with this guy. He's ordering people around to break the law, kidnapping. You can't just go take somebody's kids away from him. He's the father. You're going to go order some goons to go and steal his kids at gunpoint? Bring the kids back? Take the kids away from the father of the kids and bring them back over here? Because Bhaktipad says so? So he sends some goons out, and these goons are dumb enough to go do it? Because they're brainwashed and thinking that Bhaktipad is the levels of insanity, and how it's just infecting this whole community of freaks that think this guy is some god or some god man, to the point where they'll kill this guy, kidnap his kids, drown his son in a pond, make it look like an accident or something. We may never know all this shit that happened. We may never know all this shit that happened. We may never know the truth, even though this guy wrote 3 books. We may never know that.
And just the love between all
this shit going on. And this guy, he ain't got the sense to leave. Or in the year 2025 to realize what the fuck was going on. That it's a pedophile cult and these guys aren't gurus, and Prabhupada wasn't a guru either. What makes Prabhupada a guru? If Bhaktipad's not a guru, what makes these guys think that Prabhupada is a guru? That Prabhupada is somehow immune, or somehow not at fault, or somehow this, or somehow that. How? You still gotta be demented, and you gotta be fucked up in the head.
is so apparent. And he felt that there was something crooked at New Vrindavan, and it was time to leave. He didn't know all the details, but he felt that his wife refused to go, and he wanted his children back. He wanted his wife back. He wanted his children back, and that's the source of that anger.
So he wanted his children not to be raised in that environment, and but the management at New Vrindavan wanted his wife there because I understand she was a big collector.
Jamuna was not a collector at all, but she did important service, mostly in the nursery, caring for children, and but what she had was a real love for her spiritual master and a submissive mentality.
She was really brainwashed. She was heavily brainwashed into the cult of Bhaktipad. That's it. And he just can't say that. This guy's still brainwashed. Brainwashed.
And she was, whatever service they wanted her to do, she was a submissive disciple. And that's Being submissive at New Vrindavan was all in all at that time.
People say that
Being submissive at New Vrindavan was all in all. I thought, why are we still following a dead guru? Most gurus have their own houses in Vrindavan and Mayapur. Yeah, because they're so deluded. They're so deluded they think that somehow, they're so deluded that they think that that's the goal of life, is to have a house in Vrindavan. These people are nuts. And not only that, not only do they think that that's the goal of life, is to have a house in New Vrindavan and Mayapur, but they don't pay for it. They're not paying for it. Their disciples are paying for it. Their disciples are paying for it. Donations and book distribution and all that crap. Yeah, well, Bhaktipad wanted a little bit of that good rice. He wanted, Bhaktipad wanted some. I don't know what Bhaktipad wanted, but 3 New Vrindavan Kshatriyas, freaking nuts. I know. And you see the look of them? These guys are not Kshatriyas. These guys, hostile witness, epic expression. I think he's a hostile witness. I don't know. I think Keith Ham personally killed him, but the suicide rate by ex-devotees is appalling. Probably created a cult that destroyed and killed people. It's a death cult. These people would kill for Prabhupada. Yep, it's a death cult. It's exactly what it is. It's a death cult. Always above the law. They're always above the law. They think that they're transcendental, above everything. Absolutely. Keith Ham murdered them in the name of Krishna, but Prabhupada's doctrines had so many commit suicide. Absolutely. And so many children suffered. So many children suffering. Telling the parents that they could just put their kids in the school and they could go play Hare Krishna. So many kids suffered because of that. Little girls getting married. Little girls getting raped behind stages and festivals. So much. If you think that little girl is the only one. Murder by indoctrination of heart philosophies that will destroy the very members' lives. Trauma survivors kill themselves. Yeah, like this girl that says she's only in for 2 months. Well, 3 months now. She's only in for 3 months and she thinks she's confused and frustrated. She doesn't know what she's doing. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to that prick, that piece of shit pedophile motherfucker. Fuck him. Fuck him. That man needed to be castrated and have his dick shoved in his mouth. That's what needed to be happening. Fuck that piece of shit. All the fucking horror that he caused so many little children to needlessly be abused by these fuckers, these bhakti pods and these jayatirthas, these rameshwars, these fucking disgusting pieces of shit, and you want to glorify that piece of crap? You fucking sick fuck. You sick, fucking, disgusting piece of shit. Glorifying that disgusting, failed piece of shit. Couldn't satisfy a woman. Couldn't make his wife happy. I'm fucking glad she sold his piece of shit books. Fucking piece of shit. You glorify that pedophile. And you can take that shit somewhere else. In fact, you can take that shit, shove it up your ass, you fucking piece of shit. We don't glorify that piece of shit here. So you can just take that Prabhupada crap and just take it on somewhere else, fucker. Fuck, come in here and glorify that piece of shit. The guy that started all this crap, responsible for so many children to be molested, so many suicides, so many women to be abused, like Rupa Manjari and Nischintya and Aditya and all of Narayan's wives. And that's just one. There's so many women online talking about how they've been abused. Gopal Krishna's wife, Trivikram abusing his disciple just last year. So much abuse. So many children being abused. And you come in here and want to glorify this piece of shit. It fucking blows my mind. They can sit there and hear all of this crap about child molestation and child marriage, guys getting murdered. And they're like, oh, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. What the fuck? The delusions, the mental illness of these people, the mental illness of these freaks. The mental illness of these freaks. They ain't coming in here like they're gonna like they're gonna save us. Oh, if I go in there and I say all glories to Prabhupada, then they're gonna get the mercy. Like we're gonna get mercy from you glorifying some pedophile. Like we're going to get mercy from you glorifying some pedophile. The delusions of these people. Even this guy, this guy's deluded too, because he wrote the book on this shit. He wrote the book on this shit, and he's still caught up in it. Can't get the fuck out.
Right? What happened with his child? He was only 3 years old when he passed away, correct?
They're talking about how this little kid was killed.
I've spoken to Jamuna, the mother, and also an eyewitness who was there right after it happened. The boy was just playing with some children at the boathouse, at the ghat, at New Vrindavan, at the pond, and he fell in, and the other children were so young they couldn't help him climb back out, and he drowned, and it was very, very, very sad. But there was no animosity in that as a retribution for Zalochan leaving that. In fact, Bhaktipad did say later, he said that it appears that there's some bad karma in the family.
There are so many books. I mean, there's already a book that Zalochan wrote, The Guru Business. And then there is the book Monkey on a Stick, right?
You know, I don't trust either of these. Well, I definitely don't trust the Mahatma. I mean, I don't trust this Henry Doktorski guy. Even if he's exposing these murders and exposing Bhaktipad and all this stuff, just by the way he's talking, I don't trust him at all. I don't trust him at all. I just don't trust him. I don't trust that he's telling the truth. I don't trust that he's telling the truth about what he knows. I don't trust that he's telling the truth about what he's found out. I don't trust that he's written the truth in his books. I just don't. Because if he can't see the truth that this is a dangerous pedophile cult and that Prabhupada's responsible for this crap and that all of this falls directly on Prabhupada. It does. I mean, Prabhupada didn't kill Zalochan, but Prabhupada created this entire thing, and he gave Kirtananda all this power and filled his head with these ideas that Kirtananda could go kill people if he wanted to. And this guy can't recognize it. Neither of these guys can recognize. Well, neither of these guys can recognize what's really going on with this Hare Krishna cult. They don't know what's going on. They're confused. You got a big picture of Prabhupada right there.
Big picture of Prabhupada right there, thinking that Prabhupada is still the man. He's still the man. They don't care that Prabhupada had an 11-year-old wife. He was 22 years old. They don't care that Prabhupada promoting child marriage in his cult. They don't care. Obviously, this guy doesn't care that about all the child abuse and everything, because they hadn't left. He's not out there going, hey, stop. Neither one of them are speaking out against it. They have a big picture of Prabhupada there, and they got the book Killing for Krishna. It's almost like an advertisement. Like, yeah, you can kill for Krishna. Like, killing for Krishna is okay. This guy doesn't seem to feel so sad that Salochan got killed. It's more like, yeah, he got killed. He's like, yeah, he got killed. Salochan got killed. Yeah, sorry. His kid got killed too. He drowned in the pond. He doesn't seem like so what? Like, so a couple of people get killed. Hey, what spiritual organization doesn't murder their own people? I mean, hey, it happens. I feel so sorry for everybody who got caught up in this. It's very sad, and I'm glad that people speak out. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We're in a show here about a guy that was in. It's sad. Salochan was in the cult, and these cult freaks killed him because he knew that Salochan didn't leave the cult. He was still in it too. He did not. He is just like these two guys. He is still bewildered by the whole thing. And then somebody wants to come in here and go, oh, all glory is to Prabhupada. Because they're so deluded. They're so fucking deluded. Mental illness. Just cannot comprehend that they're in a cult. And that Prabhupada is a cult leader, or he was a cult leader. And this is a cult full of pedophiles and pedophilia in the books. Child marriage. Marrying 12-year-old girls to 25-year-old men is pedophilia. Prabhupada was 22. He had an 11-year-old wife. He practiced it himself. He didn't just talk about it. He did it himself. He promoted it. And these two guys, they believe the shit that Prabhupada says. I don't know how much they believe it, but they believe it enough to where they still got a picture of Prabhupada sitting right there like he's some guy that needs to be promoted, we need to talk about Prabhupada, we need to promote him. Friggin' insane. Prabhupada, the devil himself, creating a factory of crimes. It's great. It just blows my mind. And watching this interview, and I had a feeling that this is what it was going to be like, although I've never seen this guy talk before. But I could just kind of tell by some of the stuff that I've read that he was still in it. He's still in it. His books helped me leave ISKCON. I'm glad they did. I'm glad they did help you. Absolutely. I'm glad they did. He needs to read his books. He needs to read his books again. Maybe he'll get the message and he'll leave. You can't say you've left ISKCON and you got a picture. That'd be like me. That'd be like if you tuned in one day And I had a big picture of Prabhupada here, and I'm like, yeah, well, you know, Prabhupada's not that bad. You'd be like, Mike, I can't believe you're talking about Prabhupada like that. You'd be like, after all these shows that you've done where you've called Prabhupada a piece of shit and this and that, and now you up here promoting him. And I'd be like, well, yeah, you know, I kind of had a, you know. This guy writes 3 books about how this cult has killed people and deranged devotion and all these things. And yet the architect of the whole thing is sitting right there. The architect of the whole thing sitting right there. And, you know, killing for Krishna, all this stuff is bad, but we don't know where it's coming from. That's still a mystery. We're not sure where. We're not sure who. We don't know who wrote these books and who started all this thing. We're not sure who that is, because it's not this guy. This guy's he didn't do it. It's not his fault. So we're still confused as to whose fault all this stuff is. We're not sure. Not people. Mike Abba said the codes come out and make us come in here together. Respect Mike. Yeah, I'm glad to see you guys come out, man. Because I know that I wanted a place where I could talk about Krishna and I could talk about the shit that I went through. I wanted a place where I could talk. The only place I could talk about it was a Scientology page on a Scientology channel. And I knew that I was like interrupting their Scientology thing. I was like, you know, well, sorry, you know, I thought we were all anti-cult, you know. So I started doing my own thing. And I was doing that because I wanted to talk about Hare Krishna and how horrible it is and all of these things, and I had nowhere to talk. I had nowhere to talk about it. I was talking to it about just talking to the camera. And then eventually, you know, you guys showed up. So it's you know, I couldn't doing it with you guys makes the whole thing great. Yeah. Hey, thank you, man. Thanks for coming and stopping through, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And yeah, and thanks to all of you guys, man. I appreciate you guys coming in, liking, sharing, subscribing, all of that, man. It makes it great, and I look forward to it as much as you guys do. I really do. Prabhupada can't be responsible for what happened in this country, you know. Yeah, he is. He's responsible for what happened while he was here, and he's responsible for creating all this scamming guru bullshit that goes on today. Absolutely. They're out there spreading his books. Absolutely. Fuck you for defending him. You don't defend that piece of shit in my chat. You don't defend Prabhupada in my chat. Fuck that. Prabhupada is to blame for all of this crap. Who created all these gurus? Who created Kirtananda and Jayatirtha and Rameshwar and Harikesh and Hridayananda and all of these fuckers? Who created the GBC? Who taught the GBC how to act and how to work and how to do all their things? Who taught these gurus how to act and how to preach and how to speak? Whose books are they preaching now? Whose books are they selling out on the street? Whose books? Hey, you fucking piece of shit. Fuck you and your Prabhupada crap. Hey, like, Prabhupada can suck my dick. Fuck you. Out of respect, please sit and watch quietly. You're surrounded by surviving people who were and left ISKCON. Just friendly advice. Yeah, this guy wants to come in here and agitate shit. Like, again, they got this attitude like they're going to come in here and teach us something. Oh, I'm going to teach you something because you don't know what you're talking about. Fuck you. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You just shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, even they say Sai Baba was getting discipled by some mystic tricks. Yeah, you know, Sai Baba, that was like cheap magic tricks. He'd have like gold up his sleeve and he would be like, oh, look, it's a gold watch. Oh, all the ashes would come out of the urn and oh look, it's a gold chain. Yeah, fuck. And at least he could do, you know what? At least he could do that. Jai Potato Head and these gurus, they can't even do that. They can't even pull off a little magic trick like that. They can't even do that. At least Sai Baba could do that. They can't even do that. They can't even hide something up their sleeve and then do something and woo, look, they can't even do that. All they can do is sit there and chant their stupid rounds and play with little boys and diddle little girls and Indra Yumnaswamy with rubbing on all these little girls and talk about their fairy tales. And tell me about how the milk boiled over on the stove and how, the milk boiled over and the gopis were steering and then the cow was this and then Mother Yashoda was like, her sari fell down and her boob came out and her hips were swaying and she went running and the fuck? Who gives a shit? They ain't teaching me nothing. They ain't teaching nobody nothing but your fucking sexist, racist bullshit. You don't waste time with that crap. At least Aesop fables that teaches you something. Teaches you to be a good person, to have morals and have ethics. It teaches the ways of the world. Haste makes waste and different ordinary things. At least Aesop's fables got a point. Be good, tell the truth, be honest. Don't judge. Don't jump to conclusions. You know, all these things that you can learn from Aesop's fables. You can learn so much. You can learn shit from a Krishna book. What the fuck you can really learn? They stick a baby under a cart. Don't stick a baby under a cart. What's wrong with you? Why are you putting a baby under a cart? How much sense does that make? Let's just put baby Krishna under this cart. He'll be safe under there. Who does that? Oh yeah, hey, let me jack up my car. Let me jack up my '54 Chevy car and let me stick my newborn baby under there. That'll be safe for a place for him to sit. Nothing will happen to him. I don't know. What kind of stupid is that? Stealing the little girl's clothes? Stealing the little girl's clothes, taking them up in the tree, and then having the girls come out naked and covering their pubic area with their hand, as it says in the book. They had to cover their pubic area with their hand. Be embarrassed and ashamed and humiliated and all of those things. They had to do that. And you want to teach that to little girls? And what does that teach? What does that teach? That teach that when a man takes your clothes and wants you to get up in front of him naked, you got to do it. There's no. You just got to do it. Suck it up and do it. You tell me that's something I want my daughter to be reading? Balaram gets drunk, wants to have sex with Jamuna, so he uses this thing to pull the river next to him so he can have sex with her. Krishna having sex with a hunchback lady. The lion comes out of the pillar and rips everybody apart and rips their insides out. What's that teach me? Don't fuck around with a lion? Yeah, I already know that. You sit there and tell me a bunch of stories? Yeah, why don't you sit there and tell me about Old Mother Hubbard? Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard, or Little Bo Peep. Why don't you sit there and talk about that for an hour and a half? Well, that'll be interesting. You can do a whole lecture about Little Bo Peep. We're now reading from Grimm's Fairy Tales, Chapter 1. Little Bo Peep. What sense does that make? And then you want me to live my life according to your friggin' fairy tales? Little Bo Peep. Well, you know, she had 5 sheep, so everybody has to have 5 sheep. That's Varnashram. So all the male sheep over here and the female sheep over there. They're fucking nuts, man. You fucking freaks are fucking nuts. Mental illness. You think you're friggin' living in friggin' 16th century Bengali. This is dressing up like it's the Renaissance fair. Like you're living in a fucking Renaissance fair. That makes as much sense. It's like the Renaissance fair with pedophilia and child marriage. That's what it's like. You guys are sick. You're sick fucking people, man. You're child marriage and smacking women around. Black people are ugly and Hitler was good. Black people are slaves and you guys are fucking nuts. And this guy did all this research. He can't figure it out. He's still confused. He's still confused. He's still fucking confused. Doesn't understand. I don't know. Oh, don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure how it happened. Bhakti-Pod's a fake, but I'm not sure how that happened. I don't know. I just don't know how. He just dropped in from another. I don't know how Bhakti-Pod got here, and I don't know how New Vrindavan got built, but he's a scammer and he's a murderer, but what does that have to do with anything else? And he's diddling little kids and giving fellatio to teenage boys and all these things. And all of these things, I know, but what does that have to do with Krishna and Prabhupada? You guys fucking can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. Just totally bewildered. completely bewildered by the whole experience. Like I don't know. I was in New Vrindavan. I don't know what the fuck's this guy to have to say now. Fucking nut. This gun is getting fixed now day by day. Fuck you and your fucking Ritviks. You Ritviks are scammers too. You Ritviks promote Tattva Darshan, the biggest fucking pedophile I've ever seen. Guy went to jail in Cambodia for fucking pedophilia. He got caught with an underage girl putting a condom on. She was naked. And that's the kind of people that you Ritviks promote? You Ritviks promote Tattva Darshan? And then you still want to use karma as some kind of as a threat, like, oh, you're going to get karma and we're all sinners. And man, you don't understand that we're not in your brainwashed cult anymore? You fucking Ritviks are just as sick as everybody else. You follow Prabhupada, you Ritviks follow Prabhupada, you follow the child marriage, you believe that guys can molest 12-year-old girls. You don't give a fuck. You fucking have Tattva Darshan give lectures at your temples. Madhu Pandit and Tattva Darshan are buddies. You guys can't even fucking rid yourself of the same friggin' pedophiles that ISKCON has. It's the same shit. The same fucking shit. You talk about Ritviks when you guys are fucking it's the same shit. Fallen gurus, fake gurus, scamming gurus, pedophiles giving lectures, pedophiles being worshipped. You're no different. You Ritviks are no different. The fucking take your Ritvik crap and shove that up your ass too. Fuck, I'm sick of that shit. The fucking your Ritvik shit Vic crap. Another big fucking scam. Nobody told you. Nobody told you you're being fucking scammed by these Ritviks. They want you to think that Prabhupada had nothing to do with this bullshit. When Prabhupada was 22 years old, he had an 11-year-old wife. You fucking worship that disgusting piece of shit. You worship a fucking pedophile. You worship this pedophile like he's some kind of god. Man who was 22 years old and he was having sex with an 11-year-old girl that didn't even fucking love him. He didn't love her. He was failed as a husband, failed as a father, failed marriage, failed chemist, college dropout, piece of shit. These are the kind of people you worship. These are the kind of people you worship. You all of you guys. All of you guys worship these fucking worst pieces of shit on the planet. You fucking wash their feet and worship them. Fucking A, man. Brainwashed fucking fools, man. All of them. Brainwashed by this Prabhupada guy. All of them brainwashed. Thinking oh, it's the Ritviks are the solution. I've done so many videos talking about how you fucking Ritviks are pieces of shit, just like all the other ISKCON. You guys are just all the other ISKCON pieces of shit. Prabhupada's the main piece of shit, and you guys are fucking sucking his dick. So you can all fuck off. Prabhupada created and taught this very doctrine that Prabhupada creates these pedophiles and these criminals, these murderers and these rapists, these child abusers and these child beaters and these wife beaters. Prabhupada creates this. He creates them. And then they come in here and they defend this shit. And they go on here and they defend this shit. And even when the guy's written fucking 12 books about this shit, he's still going to sit there and defend this shit. Fucking discuss how fucking disgusting it is. And how brainwashed these people are. That's why these videos are important. You gotta like, share, and subscribe. We can save people from getting involved in this. You get involved with this, it ruins your life. Fucks up your head. Fucks up your head so much you can write 100 books on this shit and still be in it. He's still in it. He still wants to use his friggin' heart, Rishikesh Das. He's probably going to write another book about killing for Krishna, gurus. This guru's bad and that guru's bad and all this stuff. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. Their excuse to those who defy their nonsense, it's your karma, you made offenses. Go eat a cookie. I know. You know what? You deal with your karma. How about your karma? How about the karma that you're in a brainwashed cult? That's your karma. You got stuck in this friggin' cult. And now you're pushing a shopping cart of books around Costco parking lot. That's your karma. And we'll talk about your karma. Let's talk about your karma. Worshipping a guru that's probably going to go have sex with a little kid somewhere. Or probably already did have sex with a guru. Let's talk about all the gurus that have fallen down, all these devotees that don't have a guru. Let's talk about this guru that's 85 years old. He had sex with his disciple. Let's talk about this guru that was having sex with all these teenage boys. What about this guru in Mayapur, Bhavananda? He's still being worshipped, and he loves having sex with little teenage boys. This is the kind of shit that you're involved in. It's the kind of shit they're involved in. They don't care. It's like my friend Radha Kuhn said. He's like, you could prove to me that this ain't real, and I'll still do it because it's fun. Because your brain's fucked up. Your brain is so fucked up, you just didn't hear what you just said. You would stay in this fucked up cult because it's fun, even though it's caused so much damage to so many people, and you know it's caused damage to so many people. But it's fun to you. Fuck all the people that have been damaged by this cult. All the children that have been damaged by this cult. Well, fuck them. I'm having fun. Fuck them kids. Fuck them kids. I'm having fun. That's why they put their kids in the school and they go off and cosplay. They don't give a fuck. They're horrible people. They get brainwashed, turn them into horrible people. I'll just put my kids in school. They don't give a fuck about their kids. They don't give a fuck about their kids. That's why that whole society, this whole group, they don't give a fuck about their kids. They don't care if their kids are molested. They don't call the police on the molesters. They protect them. They turn and make them gurus. They get the murderer in jail. They fucking made him a fucking sannyasi. It's fucking disgusting. I don't know who would friggin' worship a fucking murderer in jail as their guru. Yeah, my guru is, the guy that's in jail, federal prison. He's doing life. That's my guru. It's my guru. Fucking insane. Fucking insane.
The problem is Prabhupada teaches men to hate women, therefore creating children abusers and women abusers. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like on page 1. If you start reading the Bhagavad Gita, the first thing Prabhupada starts talking about is it's the woman's fault for having unwanted pregnancy. It's the problem with the world is the women are having too many kids that they don't want. And that's the problem. We got unwanted we got unwanted children. Because the women are free and they can have sex whenever they want. So the men are having sex and they're not getting married. So the women are single. And then you got all these kids running around. And you got unwanted kids. And the kids that grow up to be bad people. And they be... First page of Bhagavad Gita. First introduction, I think it's in the introduction. You read that shit. Child marriage, racism. The head gets so fucked up that you end up like these fucking knuckleheads. Sitting there talking about how a guy got killing for Krishna. Killing for Krishna. Well, who came over and started this whole thing? That guy right there in the picture. Who translated these books? That guy right there in the picture. Who are you guys worshiping? That guy right there in the picture. Who turned Bhaktipad into the fucking freak that he was? That guy right there in the picture. Who made those 11 gurus and told them that they were pure devotees and they should be worshipped as pure devotees and they could have disciples and blah, 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 blah. Who's responsible for that? Well, that guy right there in the picture. Who started the Gurukula schools where all those kids were molested? Well, that guy right there in the picture. So who was in charge of the schools when found out that the kids were being molested? He did nothing about it. Oh, that guy right there in the picture. Who says in his books that kids, women can be beat? You can beat your wife. Oh, that guy right there in the picture. Who said that the kids could be beat in the school? Oh, that guy right there in the picture. But these guys are confused. They're not sure. They're not sure how all this happened. They're confused. They're not sure. Absolutely correct, Mike. It's all wishy-washy. It's absolutely crucial to hear this facts. Full stop. Freaking fucks, man. And you know, and when I sit here, you know, it sounds crazy. I sound like one of these, like Alex Jones or something. Like I'm. Rah! That's how crazy it is. That's how crazy this is. But it's not me. It's these guys. This guy wrote. These guys written so many books about this cult, and he's still in it, and he's still promoting the guy that started the whole thing. Because he's brainwashed, and he can't get unbrainwashed. And the other guy, this other guy, he thinks he's interviewing the other guy, and he's like they're both mental patients. Protect childhood. Absolutely. Children need to be children. Children need to be children, not indoctrinated into some weird pedophile cult where little girls are married off at 12 years old. Fucking disgusting. Defending child abuse. Education, not indoctrination. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Hey, listen, everybody, that's going to be it for today. I didn't even get halfway through that video, but I saw enough. If you want to watch it, you can go check it out. It's Killing for Krishna interview with Henry Doktorski. You don't have to watch it. I mean, what are you gonna? If you want to watch it. But I don't. I've seen enough. So, but hey, everybody, free to do whatever you want. It was really fun though watching it. I got to see my old friend Mahatma in there, still being the same guy, defending child abusers, man. Can't sit there and go, hey, I was in a cult. Just can't sit there. Can't say I was in a cult. Excuse me. It's not 5,000 years old. It's not an ancient tradition. There is no sampradaya. There's no pure devotee. There's none of that. Can't come clean and just admit it. Just can't come admit it. What happened to Gaurahari? We're gonna do another Gaurahari. We're gonna do another one. It's a little late for today, but we'll get to him absolutely. We're definitely gonna we'll get to him. So I want to thank everybody. Thanks for watching today. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm getting up there in the subscribers, so I want to thank everybody for subscribing, and those of you that haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, like, and share my videos. And hey, feel no weight. Hey, thanks, man. They need to know. They do need to know, and it's important, and it's urgent, and it helps people. It helps people to know, so they can beware. Be aware. Beware of Hare Krishna. So thanks, everybody. Everybody have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening. Have some great luck. Go Dodgers, yay Dodgers, and have a great. And please stay out of a cult. What is this one last comment? Thanks for your time creating a platform. Hey, I'm glad that we have a platform because it's as important for me as it is for you guys. I love talking about it, and it's therapy for me. It absolutely is therapy for me. So thank you guys for coming in and joining me. It's always great to see everybody here. And let me ring the bell. Let me get that bell going. Ding. There we go. So thanks, and you all have a great day. Stay out of a cult. And for all of you out there who don't know who I am, all you new people, think I'm some angry guy. I am an angry guy. But here, this is me when I was a Hare Krishna many years ago.